Welcome back to Binge Warmers. We are continuing our journey through Ben 10. Gwen 10 is what we're looking at today.
Yep.
My name's Will.
I'm Steven.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, give us your comments. If you're watching along with us, let us know what you think about this episode in the comments. Also, comment question of the day. Which alien would you like to see Gwen transform into? I kind of wanted to see what like a female Cannonbolt would look like.
I was hoping we would get Cannonbolt in there.
But I guess this is before the Omnitrix unlocks it. But there's a lot of differences going on here.
And legally, you probably wouldn't.
Legally?
I was going to say, don't forget to hit that notification bell.
Yeah, we want you to know when we post things. We love you so much. Thank you for subscribing and liking and commenting and all that stuff. Yeah, this is the first time we see like a multiversal situation in the Ben 10 universe. Through Omniverse, it's like a staple. And of course, the famous Ben 10,000 episodes kind of show us a little bit in the future.
Yeah.
But this is the first time we get something that's not just time travel strictly. It's more like Ben
what if?
Yeah,
it's a what if.
Perfectly summed up what if. Marvel's done it a bunch with their new show. I think comic books are known for that kind of thing. Certain continuities are just what ifs, you know.
We need to preface this whole episode by most of the time while watching this episode, we just had to suspend your belief because there's so many things that don't make sense about it happening like this. How he was there, or how he remembers, how does everyone else not know? Like, there's so many inconsistencies that you just have to realize, you know what? They didn't think that far ahead. They just said, you know, wouldn't it be cool for Gwen to get the Omnitrix? Let's tell that story. Yeah,
honestly, and I think it would be kind of like we would be sort of like lost and out of the loop if Ben wasn't there and he knew what was going on. Like,
I think Ben takes the form of you as the viewer.
Yeah, he's like your point of view character.
Yeah.
That way we can kind of figure out what's going on because we know that Ben has the Omnitrix. We've already seen him we've already seen him beat Vilgax. There's been a whole season of this.
Right.
But I don't know if it's late enough in the game to where they can start being like, what if?
Yeah.
I feel like we've only had like, I guess it was 12. How many episodes in the first season? 13?
13, I believe. 12 or 13.
So we had 13 episodes, and there's like one or two other episodes before this. I feel like maybe this is a season 3 thing, season 4. Like give us some time.
Give us some more.
Right. Explore the mainline continuity first, and then we can kind of go around and see what ifs.
But it's still fun to watch.
Yeah, it's great. Anything that like shakes up status quo is a fun. I guess it doesn't really. It's a what if.
Yeah, so it's a what if. Yeah.
Anything that like is different, we get to see the Omnitrix used a different way.
Yeah.
Like,
with how much they don't follow plot lines, honestly, this could have just been in the universe, and then the next episode, everything's back to normal.
Grandpa somehow gets it off and gives it back to Ben.
Yeah.
No, because we see Gwen 10 in several different instances. Like, she's in Omniverse a couple times. She's in the reboot once or twice. I think she's in the reboot. Like, she kind of comes through. Ben will just like in Omniverse, it's sort of casual how he can just like dimension hop through like other dimensions. And like at one point he finds a Mr. Smoothie location that's like there's something stupid. It's like there's 24 locations in Bellwood, but he's only ever seen 23. So he's like, I'm looking for the mystical 24th location.
What the heck?
And for some reason it's like stuck in between space-time. So every time you come in and out of the shop, it's a different dimension. I don't know what's going on. It's like some phenomena. I don't know. But that's kind of how that's the couple episodes where he does that. How do you think this happened? How do you think our Ben got into this universe? So it was like it's like season 2 Ben because he knows about Grandpa's plumber history.
Yeah.
And he didn't call him out on it for whatever good reason.
Yeah, that's the only thing he doesn't say is, Grandpa, you're a plumber.
You should know this. Plumber. Yeah. You remember the plumbers, the alien fighting force?
Phil.
Remember Phil? He's going to betray you. Don't trust him when you see him again.
Nukes.
The nukes.
I don't know. It's interesting. You could say that the Omnitrix itself kind of teleported him. You know,
I don't think it's dimensionally powerful.
Could.
He didn't have the Omnitrix when he woke up, though.
Yeah, I know. It teleported him.
It's never done that before.
But you see how like there's that theory that the same thing can't exist in the same place at the same time. No two things that are identical. Like two Bens can't exist at the same time. So when they went, Ben took over the Ben from that area, and then the Omnitrix, when it teleported him, became the Omnitrix that teleported back down to Earth.
I'm gonna say my headcanon is that this was like our Ben who, but then it doesn't make sense for it to be our Ben because our Ben still exists in the prime timeline. You know what I mean?
No, that's why my theory works so well.
Well, no, because if it was your Ben, if it was prime timeline Ben, then he would not exist in the regular show going forward.
Yeah, he would because he goes back.
He goes back?
Yeah, he'll fall asleep. He'll wake back up in his timeline.
Oh, I hate that. How does that work? But he doesn't have the Omnitrix.
It's the Omnitrix. Omnitrix does it.
But it's on Grandpa now. At the end of the episode,
It just happens.
You're just kind of hand waving.
Yeah, there's no other way to do this episode. There's no actual way to make this make sense.
I like the idea that maybe like he was fighting some monster or something that we didn't see in his prime timeline that had like dimensional powers or something.
No, that makes
some kind of like Star
sense.
Trek.
I mean, at the end of the day, either one of us, it's headcanon. It doesn't need to make sense. Mine makes more sense, though.
I think even there's like a narrator, and he's basically just like, we just wanted to tell you this story.
Yeah, it's just a story.
And I think at some point, Grandpa believes Ben, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he's like, I guess you really did get the Omnitrix and they're from a different timeline. Like when I'm a plumber, you just kind of go with these things.
Yeah.
It's like nothing's impossible.
Like, how do you think it works? It goes, essentially, we don't know. Just be okay with it.
So anyway, so Ben wakes up. This is our first first sort of. They don't really do another what if like this. I mean.
I think that we get one more what if, because I remember the talking guy in the comic book.
I think it was a Ken 10 episode.
Maybe.
Just to kind of explain like where we are and how we got here and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I honestly, we'll get to it.
Yeah,
eventually.
if it's there, we'll find it.
But the comic book writing guy, he's got a good voice, and it's fun to like see all the different past adventures in little comic book form. That's sort of like the Watcher or something. I kind of think of that character
for sure.
as like he's reading the Ben 10 comic book. And that's what we're watching is like we're in his imagination or something like so. But yeah, so we get Ben. He wakes up. He's kind of freaking out about where's the Omnitrix, and then they go to a gas station.
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't notice the Omnitrix is missing yet.
He doesn't, but we do.
Yeah.
We know like where's the I remember as a kid even I remember being like where's the Omnitrix?
Yeah.
But they're in a gas station. Gwen's getting like a big gulp, and a bunch of bikers are stealing something or other.
They're unarmed. Happens. You notice he's got like a metal pole.
Yeah,
he robbed the place with a metal pole.
Can't have it too crazy now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Grandpa can't take him out if they've got a gun.
Yeah. Has to be a space gun, if anything.
For sure.
But anyway, so Gwen, I guess like Gwen season 2 versus this first episode, Gwen would have just kicked the guy in the nuts or something.
Yeah,
she would have been like, I'm not afraid of you. Like she would have just taekwondo'd him or something.
Yeah, picked up his motorcycle and chunked it.
Gwen is a kind of a beast, honestly.
She'd be roided out.
Honestly.
It'd be Wario just picking up the, from Smash Bros.
Yeah.
Just throwing it.
Picking up his own bike.
Ben comes down and he's like, you picked the wrong day to do this, buddy. And they're like, Ben, get out of the way. He's like, no, I'm going to kick him. He goes, this is just desserts for someone like, for these guys, and Forearms loves icing. And he goes to like hit his watch, and the watch isn't there.
Stupid. That's a perfect Ben line.
Yeah.
But that kind of makes me think. So this like they got criminal interaction before Ben even got the watch.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this timeline is different in the fact that like different stuff's happening. We know the watch, like the confrontation in space, was different.
Yeah.
So maybe this didn't happen in prime timeline.
No.
Don't know. Maybe it did. That's for us to speculate, I guess. I like to think it did. Sure, why not?
I don't know. I just take this as a fun thing. I don't try to read too much. Yeah.
You don't think that happened in the prime timeline? They got robbed?
No, not at all.
I think they could have happened.
It could have. I don't know why it matters.
I just like to think like they were dealing with crime stuff even before Ben got the watch. It's just a funny like way to be like this universe sucks so much that before Ben could even take care of it, there's
always going to be crime in any universe.
I know, but it always is like a rider. The guy bumps into Gwen and knocks over a big gulp. You know what I mean? Anyway, so then at this point, Ben kind of goes back into the camper and he starts like throwing around his stuff, looking for it. Like he took it off and put it somewhere.
Yeah.
He didn't. I guess he just doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. Like you spent the entire first season saying it won't come off.
Yeah.
It's bonded to my DNA, and now all of a sudden you're like, oh, it came off.
Where's that watch?
Where's it at? Let me check all of my identical clothes.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's got like you can tell. I think it's like a baseball shirt. That's what people have said online. Like he's got this. It's like a however baseball shirts feel, or polyester feel. I don't know. But that also translates into Ben's aliens. Like Forearms has the same shirt and everything.
Which we see that too with Gwen when she transforms. That's her true. Clothes also. They got to make sure she gets clothes for sure.
We're unraveling the mystery a little bit. This is sort of a good tell of like, okay, the Omnitrix does have something to do with clothes.
Yeah,
it does have something to do with the user's clothes. But yeah, Gwen's got essentially the same fashion as Ben's aliens. Yeah. You know.
But some of her transformations have hair, and it just makes it look so creepy.
Yeah, the gray matter one had hair.
Ugh, scary.
Do you think? Well, I don't know. We can speculate on this a little bit too, but again, it doesn't really matter. But in like Alien Force Forward, and the Galvan are all just different in that.
Yeah.
Anyway, like they're bigger. Like in this series, like gray matter can fit into like Gwen's hand.
Yeah.
But in Omniverse or Alien Force UAF, it's always like he's like this big.
Well, he's fully grown. Ben's 10.
That's a good point. That's a
Ben
good point.
10.
He's Ben 10.
Yeah.
Oh, he's really old too, right? Like
Yeah.
He's like eons old.
What's his name again?
Azimuth.
Yeah. He's got a beard.
He kind of has a beard. He's like a catfish beard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that she could have hair if he has hair.
But his more like whiskers or something. She has like remember Azimuth's girlfriend that he had?
Yeah.
Like she didn't have hair, I'm pretty sure.
Doesn't mean you can't. Maybe she just wanted to shave it.
I was gonna say, you think she shaved it, or you think it's like different kind of like species of Galvins or something? Like maybe some of them have hair, some of them don't.
Oh, that's a good point.
That's lore. That's world building.
Yeah. So anyway, they're like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I'm looking for the watch, the Omnitrix." And you see Max is like, "The fuck
He's
you
like,
say?
you never had a watch.
What's the Omnitrix? What's going on here?"
And this is like we got to take ourselves back to like the first episode
Yeah.
because this is like
Yeah.
right after they picked him up, you know.
Yeah. And Gwen's like mean to him, but she's also like a lot nicer. She straight up says, "I'll help you look for it. What does it look like?" You know?
Yeah, I guess that they're trying to set her up as like she's not because at the first episode they were like mortal enemies.
Oh, 100%.
But I guess she's trying to like put a little olive branch out or
Yeah.
something.
It wouldn't be good if they were arguing the entire time of the episodes, like because
Yeah.
we've already moved past that in their relationship.
Yeah.
So like to reset would be so exhausting.
Ben sort of softened up on her a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe the alien hero help. Maybe
Yeah.
she helps him. Maybe he feels like that's
So
nice.
Ben 10's like dropping names and words and stuff, and
Phil Gax.
yeah, Vilgax and Max is like, "What the hell is
And
happening?"
he like
right now?
screeches
Yeah,
the
he's like,
bus
"Oh, I almost hit
around.
a skunk."
Yeah.
But he's like, "No, we're here." And he's like, "Ben, I just picked you up from the elementary school like 2 hours ago." It's
Yeah.
like, what? That doesn't make sense. I've been going hero 1,000 times. I've been, beating up bad guys for the past like weeks.
See, I wouldn't care too much about the continuity of it and stuff if that stuff wasn't in there.
Yeah.
Because it makes you wonder, like, how did this happen? But I guess, like, we said at the beginning, just check your brain at the
Yeah.
door. This is just a fun
It's just
kind
for
of
fun.
what
It's fun to speculate some things, but don't look too deep into it.
Yeah.
Like it's fun to speculate. Like, we talked about how she doesn't have a cooldown on the watch. Well, it wouldn't be a good episode if she could only turn once and then
She does have a cooldown on the watch. It just
later.
doesn't- Yeah, it's just not as mentioned, I guess, because that's like the main conflict of Ben, like
Yeah.
turning a hero.
Yeah.
Is that he keeps having to recharge and wait and stuff.
Which I spoke to you about it too because we talked about how immature Ben is and how mature Gwen is. So
Yeah.
the watch is also there to teach Ben
Yeah.
how to use it. So it's like, oh, you're more mature than Ben is, so you can get a better better time with the watch. I trust you more than I trust Ben.
I kind of wonder, like, there's a point where she's forearms, and then she goes back to Gwen, and then Vilgax comes in. She's like trying to go alien,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You got to cool down on the watch." Like she didn't already figure this out, you know. Like Ben is playing with her in the forest. Like she's heat blast, and she turns into gray matter.
And then she turns into Diamond Head and
Yeah.
all back to back to back.
It's like you see gray matter, and then you see Diamond Head like in the next.
Yeah.
Like maybe she transforms. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The point is it's a little inconsistent, like the watch times and
Yeah.
stuff.
But like you said, you got to check your brain at the door and just
Yeah.
realize. If they don't do that, then we have no show.
Yeah, if they focus on her being Gwen and waiting on it, we don't get to see the more fun aliens. Like this is the whole reason we have the episode
Yeah.
to see what a female forearms would look like,
Yeah.
or a female gray matter or
Something
whatever.
fun for people to explore.
Yeah, and it's also fun to see Ben kind of like teaching her because he's already learned all that stuff and he gets to like pass his knowledge down a little bit.
It's so cringe sometimes though because like Gwen will do something and Max was like, "Oh, she's good," and Ben's like, "So was I," and it's like,
Yeah.
no one cares, Ben. Like,
Shut up!
what do you
idiot.
mean? You don't have the watch. It doesn't matter.
We get it. You
Yeah.
used to be cool.
And he was like, "Oh, it'll just all go back to normal as soon as I put the watch on." So he ran to the field or the woods, and there's Gwen holding the watch. It just looks weird and unnatural on her and Max. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
You're
like
so
too
used,
big.
yeah,
on
you're so
Max.
used to it being on Ben that you're like, my brain can't because like they designed it with his design as a whole. It matches his whole
Yeah.
person. You know.
In different universes, sometimes like Ben 23 is one we see a lot. He's got a little. He's like an 11-year-old Ben, so he's got Tara Strong's voice.
Yeah.
And it's an Omniverse. But his Omnitrix style is blue.
Yeah.
And I think when Vilgax gets it, it might go red or something.
So it
Albedo's is
changes
red.
with the people.
Right. I think that's just a way to kind of differentiate too.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that hers is purple. Like hers in certain continuities is purple. So
Yeah.
like she has a purple watch. But even then, like that Gwen 10 that we see is not necessarily this Gwen from this episode because she loses the watch at the end of this.
Yeah.
So Grandpa's got the watch at the end of it, unless they figure out a way to get it off him.
Yeah.
It wasn't on him for that long. There's sort of a little bit of insight Vilgax gives us at the end of the first season where he says like, "Oh, this watch is permanently bonded to your DNA.
Yeah.
It's only been on Gwen for like a couple hours. It's only been on Grandpa a couple minutes. So maybe Ben could figure out a way to get it off.
Yeah.
Probably not.
I mean,
don't know.
I mean, the lightning struck her and it got off, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess that maybe it was like it was like a pickle jar. Like it was loosened up. That big machine she was in loosened it up. And then she, like the lightning, and it was like a...
Yeah, and he was like, I don't want to be on here anymore. This girl got cooties for real.
Ew, girls.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just he goes out in the woods and he's kind of waiting. Like things are different from when the first episode.
Yeah.
Because he has the knowledge of the Omnitrix coming down and he has all the previous knowledge. He doesn't run away in the forest like he probably would have in the first episode.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, Gwen, I guess, is picking up firewood. What'd she say?
Yeah, no, she said something about like she was going to be in the RV to do something. So she wasn't even supposed to be in the woods.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she was in the woods.
It was just meant to be.
Just meant to be.
It's fated. So anyway, that's sort of the thrust. The rest of the episode is, well, most of the rest of the episode.
Yeah, she gets the watch, and she's obviously 10 times better with it than Ben ever was.
Yeah.
Like, she is heat blasting. He's like, don't, be careful, you're going to set the whole place on fire. She's like, only an idiot would set the forest on fire.
I would have set the forest on fire, probably.
I probably would have, too. I would have been shooting fireballs everywhere.
Yeah. As soon as I figured that out.
Yeah, and she's up there, like, looking at the sky, and she shoots a fire blast, and it just spells Gwen.
Yeah, we've never seen Heat Blast do that before. That's something, I would buy that he can do that, though.
Yeah. Well, he's like, how'd you do that? It took me like a month to figure that out.
She's just better.
Yeah, she's just better.
We kind of made the joke. She's a Mary Sue.
Yeah.
But again,
she has to be better for us to watch the show and not see her flounder. Because we've already seen the floundering. We want to just see Gwen as season 2's Ben, you know?
Yeah. Well, we also understand that Gwen is like a perfectionist. Like she can get stuff right. She can get stuff pretty quick.
Yeah.
But she's not without fault. Like I think that's the Mary Sue problem is that they don't give female characters problems.
Yeah.
Gwen's annoying. Gwen is definitely
she
a
overthinks things. Yeah.
She's an overthinker. Got all these kind of flaws.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's good for Ben to have that, counterbalance that's like better than him.
Yeah.
But not like without fault.
Yeah. Like,
anyway.
because like her complete mastery of the Omnitrix is like, oh, okay.
Well, she didn't completely master it. Obviously, she got the timeout still.
Yeah.
I was kind of because it was Heat Blast
Well, I mean,
straight
I'm
to
sure
gray
give
matter.
her a week. She's probably got the master control of.
Yeah, right. It was Heat Blast to gray matter, and I was like, does she have master control? What's going on? But they just didn't want to show it, timing out and all that junk.
And then you get Diamond Head, which is really cool. We were talking about how I just love the sound of when Diamond Head is moving. It just
sounds
feels
like
so real.
Glass moving on glass, or like diamonds
feels
on
so
diamonds.
Cool.
Yeah.
She says something again. It's kind of cringy sometimes because she's supposed to be smart, you know. So once she figures out that she can reflect, she's like, "Oh, the power of refraction." And I'm like, "Bro, come on, dude.
Shut up, idiot.
Yeah,
egghead.
Yeah, egghead nerd." So
dweeb.
Yeah, so she does it a lot cooler than Ben. Ben just kind of was like, "Oh, it'll work."
She kind of
eventually,
blends her hand. Oh, she also figured out she gets projectiles. I don't think Ben had that.
Ben didn't have that.
He didn't have
and
this
she
later.
also just straight shoots it. He had to transform his hand.
That's true.
Which is weird.
May have been an animation thing.
We don't want to.
Yeah, it's zoomed out enough. Whatever.
Either way, it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she completely obliterates that robot.
She shoots it up in the air and then it explodes.
Yeah.
Like I don't think that happened with Ben. Ben just sliced it or something.
Yeah, it's sliced in half. And Ben is now starting to see. He's kind of feeling like, oh, this must be what Gwen feels like because he wanted to be in the action. He can't be in that action. So Max is like, help me evacuate everybody. And he's like,
your support buddy.
Yeah, I
Get used to it.
don't want to be support. I want to. That was me. I used to be that.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Grandpa, let's get you back to bed.
Okay, Boomer.
Yeah, so you can tell he's a little upset. And I would be too. I mean, you have this power,
and then it goes to your cousin that you hate.
Yeah.
They don't hate each other, but this cousin that
I would probably develop hatred feelings.
They definitely like Gwen. We see Gwen film like in the Charmcaster episode. She's like, I wish I got some of the recognition.
Yeah.
It's like okay.
Okay, Gwen.
I say the cat girl, lucky girl.
Yeah, lucky girl, cat girl. She's wearing like a cat mask. It works.
Yeah, she has a cat little icon on her.
Yeah,
I think in the pre-design she had like a mushroom or something.
Interesting.
And we never hear her talking about cats either. I don't think I've ever heard her talk about a cat.
I guess cats are more feminine than like a dog. You know.
You could say that.
Yeah.
That's like a tomcat.
Yeah. Anyway, so they beat up that robot, and Vilgax is still put together. So he's like, I gotta go down there. So Ben wakes up, and Gwen's out there. There's a bunch of dead fish around her and stuff. She's like, it's crazy. I turned into this upgrade and upgraded my laptop, and then I went and turned into this fish thing and caught his breakfast, and then I went and ran all the way home to get my clothes. And it's like, all that in the morning and you didn't notice a cooldown or timeout, you know?
This is kind of what I wanted with Ben, too. We never really got that bit of him being like, oh, yeah, I turned into this thing, and I figured out it's got water powers, and then I turned into this thing, and I figured out it can run really fast.
Yeah, we never saw that. He just turned into it and knew exactly what he was supposed to do.
We just get him, like, already kind of having a knowledge of the aliens.
Yeah.
Unless it's, like, upgrades. Sometimes he'll, like, shoot a laser and be like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
That's wild.
Gwen could have done it right away, though.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Vilgax, though, so he's perfectly fine. If you'll remember the first episode, he gets like his ship gets shot and he gets blown up. So he's like his minion in this gets blown up. When in the first episode, that doesn't happen. So I'm guessing there was like a self-destruct feature on the ship, on Xylene's ship that shoots the pod down. Mm-hmm. And then I think that gives him free license to be like, okay, I'll send a drone. My drone could probably take care of it.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. Okay, I'm going.
Yeah.
Here I go.
I'm here. Might as well.
When he was like, all battered up and healing, he couldn't do that. So now
he just kept sending drones.
Exactly. So then Ben and Gwen are like, okay, let's go do something fun. I guess Gwen wants to go do something fun.
Yeah, she's like, follow me. And it's like, how far did you walk to get to this bowling alley that they go to? You know,
maybe she upgraded, or maybe she went Wild Mutt
or accelerate again.
Accelerate
them, yeah.
But anyway, so they go to a bowling alley. She's like chucking dingers at the pins.
Forearms. She's got hair.
It's like a fuck ass bob.
Yeah. What is a fuck ass?
It's just like a TikTok term. I don't know. It's like when it's like Edna Mode, and her hair's all like down to here, and it moves. You know what I mean?
Sure.
People will know what I mean, probably.
Yeah, and then Ben can't even get a strike, and she
goes,
hey,
that was a tough shot.
That was a tough one.
Yeah.
And
just condescending him.
She's trying to be nice, but
she is.
It just comes off bad for Ben because he's like, I was the watch wearer.
Especially at this moment, yeah.
Yeah. Vilgax shows up in his big pill thing.
Big spiky ball.
Yeah, and she's figuring out the timeout thing. She's like, that's not fair. And he's like, tell me about it.
Yeah. This is most of my problems as a superhero. This is my only downfall. If I could transform into aliens,
I'd be unstoppable.
I'd be unstoppable, yeah.
And if I was smarter.
If he was just a little bit smarter.
A little bit smarter.
Yeah. But I kind of like that he's more, like, he has more...
it's more charming when he's a dummy.
Yeah, well, he's more, like, headstrong.
Reckless.
Reckless is what... Yeah. I kind of like that because, I don't know, I like an Omnitrix user that, like, just gets in there, you know what I mean? So, I'm heading in there.
Yeah.
And that's sort of how Ben is as a boy, too, because he'll just, he'll run in a bully situation and be like, hey, leave that little nerd alone. You know what I mean?
Dorky chicks like you turn me on. Leave that nerd alone. Like, Ben, well, you could do to study a little bit more.
Yeah.
Never mind. Give him a wedgie.
Shut up.
Yeah, so Vilgax takes Ben grabs a pen. He's like, I'm gonna fight you. Vilgax just throws him. Like, get out of here, Stinky.
He's like, no. Vilgax's a little bit more. You can see his little like
dark, dude.
It's like his he's like sickly. He's getting some sick pleasure out of torturing Gwen.
Oh yeah.
And she's like, he picks her up by the arm and he's like, you're coming with me. And she's like, you wouldn't hurt a girl. And he's like, I'll do more than that. And I said, ooh.
It's a little creepy.
I don't know about that one, Vilgax.
Poor Choice of Woods, he goes, no,
I'm just going to torture her.
Oh, the tabloids are going to love this one.
Okay, canceled. Canceled that big alien.
He's like, damn it.
Damn it, I didn't even.
He said, Twitter again.
He's good as ukulele. I'm not a groomer. I'm just a loser.
You've got like 5 Vilgax apology videos on these.
Breaking my silence.
I'm actually the victim.
Yeah, it's everyone's being mean to me. This is a toxic gossip train, and
so yeah,
that's so stupid.
He kidnaps her, and you know what's funny is like you would see that on that Harley Quinn show.
Oh yeah, that's totally something they would do.
When Psycho Pirate calls Wonder Woman either a
is that his name? Psycho Pirate?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. He does like a whole stint in Crisis on Infinite Earths or something.
Yeah, he calls Wonder Woman a C word.
Yeah, and everyone's like, hey! And he's like,
what? I'm a villain. What do you want?
Yeah,
I'm a bad guy.
He had to go on like Oprah and stuff.
Like being on Harley Quinn's team was like part of his like PR.
I love it, dude.
That's funny.
So anyway, so they get kidnapped and Max shows up and he's dropped the whole charade of, oh, I don't know what's going on. You know, he's like, oh no, we have this translocator thing. It's been going crazy for the past half hour.
He's like, yeah, whenever Vilgax comes back into town, I know about it. Trust me.
Yeah. It's like, well.
And he must have been pre-prepared with that big old gun from
yeah, how was that in the... Because I was telling you, I was like, I don't think they're anywhere near Mount Rushmore. How do they go there, you know? Because I can't remember everything. Yeah. And he just has it somehow.
Well, how far away is Yellowstone?
Mm-hmm.
How far is Yellowstone away from Rushmore? I can look it up. I've got a computer now.
Anyway.
I'm not a groomer.
while they're driving and stuff,
Just a loser.
Ben's like, "Oh, so you believe me now?" He's like, "Yeah, as you were talking, there's just more and more things you know that you shouldn't know without knowing something."
Yeah, and he's uniquely qualified to know about the stuff that Ben's talking about.
And
too.
Ben's like, "So how did this happen?" He goes, "I don't know."
Your guess is as good as mine, actually.
So he's like, "But we're gonna go to the ship. We're gonna kill him."
We're gonna kill him.
And then he pulls out a gun. Gwen didn't get a gun in that episode.
8-hour drive.
Yeah, no shot.
Yeah, no shot.
So anyways,
also,
here's
Gwen,
a gun.
but Gwen, we've seen Gwen
Ben.
like really take on. I mean, Ben's not an athlete. I mean, I guess he likes baseball,
Yeah.
but that's not really. He's not athletic. I don't think.
I think
He's
there is
sort
a
of
few
athletic.
baseball episodes in here somewhere.
There's one where like they fight the Forever Knights robot team or whatever, and he always mentions like he's like, oh, I was supposed to be at the whatever the big game, but I had to come here instead. Like it's. He likes baseball, and that's fair. He's also kind of like, I mean, he's also geeky. Like he likes sumo slammers and anime and superhero comics and stuff. Yeah. I don't know why I felt the need to mention that, but
Go for it.
he's just got best of both worlds.
Yeah, so he gives him the gun, and it's like, that's real smart, Max. Give your 10-year-old an alien gun.
Does he use it at all?
He comes out, and he's like, but he doesn't actually ever use it. He ends up picking up the big one.
But anyway, yeah. So it's the same exact shot for shot. Get your claws off my granddaughter, Vilgax.
Yeah.
And then Ben runs up to the little thing that's holding her arm, and he's just like,
Yeah, he just hits it. But it's so
apart.
funny, Max shoots it, and Vilgax goes,
yeah. And then he slices the gun up. So it's
yeah,
like,
and so Max jumps on. You just hear it. You can't see it. It's off screen. But it's just,
it's like total stock punching sound.
And Max, I'm giving it all she got. What for?
Also, this Vilgax probably, and this is not juiced Vilgax either. He didn't.
Yeah, this
he
is
didn't,
regular
He didn't get
Vilgax.
the steroids, so he's just like a skinny kind of guy.
Yeah.
Maybe they're more power. Well, but Vilgax still has the reputation before that
being a
episode
badass.
of being a badass. Like he could take out planets. Like he's a dictator.
Yeah.
So like I mean, he's not like he can't take on forearm strength like
Yeah.
at this point. Probably.
Maybe.
We'll never
You
see
know,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But so he's breaking Gwen out, and it pans back over, and Vilgax is beating the crap out of Max,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just like, "Yeah, you puny human, you'll never beat me." And Ben's like, "Hey, this gun still works somehow."
Hey, buddy.
And he shoots him through the fucking wall. He's
And
like,
they
"Yo,
sit
Grandpa,
there-
can I get one of those?" So Gwen's safe now, but she gets struck by lightning.
And it's not like zap your dead lightning. It's like zap, pick you up in the air, spin you around.
Yeah, she's
a
like,
little
"I'm
bit.
getting dizzy." It's like, you're encased by lightning, and that's what you're worried about?
Yeah, it's yellow lightning, so it's not. I guess it's more like energy. It's probably
Yeah.
not literal lightning.
Yeah.
But
So the watch
Omnitrix
comes off,
falls
just-
off. Yeah,
Like you said, pickle jar.
and then Ben's like he's trying as hard as he can to get there, and then
Didn't
it
try that
just
hard.
goes right to Max. And
Yeah.
it could have been too. We can speculate a little bit. It's coded to Max's DNA.
Yeah, it was
right?
always supposed to go to Max.
So maybe it was like Max,
He
like
goes,
magnetically.
"Oh, psych, bitch." You thought?
It's like sitting there, and Ben's like trying to get. He's
Yeah.
like, like jukes him out.
Not today, sonny boy.
Today, suck ass.
So then Max has got it. It's so huge on Max's wrist
big.
because he's fat.
I remember when Vilgax gets it at the end of Alien Force, it unscrews or something and like
it has to-
expands.
oh yeah.
Sort of like how in the Avengers when like the gauntlet
Yeah.
kind of
When-
fits back on Hulk's hand,
Yeah.
like grows out.
Super cool.
Cool, yeah. It's nice to see that like they put attention to detail into stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, and you don't see it like get bigger for Max. Obviously, it's just in base form, and it goes on Max is bigger. But Vilgax comes back out. And he's like giving him trouble. Ben's
No,
like,
he's not. He's there. He's still blown out. He was like,
Oh.
"Oh, how do we get out of here? This place is gonna blow or something like that."
okay.
He's like, "Turn into Upgrade," and Max is like, "Okay." Max has no idea who Upgrade is, but he's like, "On my signal, Grandpa." Grandpa takes over the RV. Looks sick.
Thank God he just knows how to
Yeah.
do all the stuff.
And then he
I
comes
guess
out and
it
like,
might be more inherent with Upgrade. I don't know.
maybe.
'Cause
Well, I
Ben-
feel like that is an inherent thing. He just
Yeah.
takes it over, and
You
then
just
it's
gloop
like you're-
onto it.
I think at that point, whatever you're taking over, you just feel like you're in your body.
Yeah.
So whenever you want something, it'll just
He
do
just
it
builds
for
like
you.
a mechanical arm that
Yeah.
picks. He's like,
But in his mind, he's just reaching his arm out, maybe.
yeah, maybe.
But it's really cool.
He
hits
also makes a
Vilgax.
face, and he's like, "Not today, Vilgax."
Yeah, every time he talked, it was like a blinky.
It wasn't like the normal circle. It was like
Yeah.
he like made a face. So maybe he just thought it would be funnier.
That's the grandpa scowl of disapproval.
Man,
Vilgax, go pick you out a thistle.
go pick you out a switch,
You
boy.
getting a whipping.
Getting whooped,
You
Vilgax.
getting a little spanking from
Anyway.
Peepaw.
But he throws Vilgax up toward the ship, and I don't. It doesn't
It doesn't make sense because he wasn't
spatially.
that high.
Spatially,
Yeah.
like the ship is up here. They jump out, and then they somehow shoot him down into the ship. I guess Max has some thrusters. I know the rest bucket already has some thrusters on it. Maybe he just thrust it up a little bit. Maybe they had vague plans on how to do that.
Maybe.
But Ben shoots him, and then the ship explodes.
With the broken gun again.
Yeah, broken gun. He picked it up and left, I guess, with it. Oh, don't want to leave that there.
That gun is so cool looking, though.
Also, like, that's the Vilgax gun. I like that that's, like, meant for Vilgax.
Yeah.
Because Max has used it twice now.
Yeah, the first time he fought Vilgax, he had a glue gun instead. And he goes, maybe something a little more
Oh, yeah, the stinky poop gun.
Yeah.
The Lepidopteran goo gun kind of thing.
What the heck is that first word?
That's the stinkfly genus species name. Lepidopteran.
You're such a weirdo.
What are you talking about? It's the name of the alien.
I didn't know
It's
that.
the species.
You had to have Googled that.
I know that.
No,
I know things.
You Googled it.
I'm smart.
You're not.
I know things.
Have you practicing how to pronounce it? So
I don't even know if I said it right, honestly. I'll look it up just for fun.
Yeah, so then they crash land, and it's not even, there's no solution after that.
It's just, like the ship blows up so incredibly crazy too.
Yeah.
Like it's a big explosion.
And then the narrator shows back up and goes, now wasn't that a nice story?
That was pretty funny, huh?
That was a good story. We'll see you next time. And he like shuts the comic book.
Yeah.
It's like, sir, there was no conclusion to this story. There was barely any exposition.
I don't. So Lepidopteran.
I cannot see that in my head. I'll have to look at it.
Lepidopteran. Somebody would get mad at us if we didn't say the full thing.
Lepidopteran.
There you go. Anyway, yeah. So we can kind of talk about some of Gwen's designs on here. I think this was the fun of the episode.
Yeah.
Was seeing like a girl version of all the different aliens. The Omnitrix is the same. It doesn't stay green like in a UAF. I think it's green on him. Yeah. But this is just like a white, and that could be like a master control thing, maybe because Ben can hot switch in UAF, but he can't hot switch here.
But even then, if he does it too much, the watch wears out. He's said
that's
that
true.
Before.
It needs to recharge. It's pretty similar. There's kind of a bust on her, but like not. It's not like pronounced. There's not like like her middle like head.
Yeah, it's
piece,
more. All of it's more curved
than round.
Sharp.
Yeah,
more rounded.
And I guess we can assume that this is a gendered alien. Like this has a gender. Whereas like I don't know, like Diamond Head's another one. It's like, do they even have genders?
Yeah, she didn't have the spike. It was just a round head.
Just a round head. I got that pulled up too.
Which is cool. They're interesting for sure.
Yeah, I liked that she was kind of slimmer. Like I feel like Ben's Diamond Head's a bit bulkier than hers. Yeah. But I do like that they keep the same like color scheme with the outfit. You know what I mean? Like it's just like dark blue on one side, light blue on the other. That's like her colors. And then she's gray matter.
We'll have to throw these up as we're looking.
Yeah, I'll edit them.
That's a scary looking thing.
I don't love.
Again,
I don't love
I'd
that
take
design.
a hammer to gray matter.
It's like the hair. It's like the eyeballs don't leave any room for the hair.
Yeah. Why do you have hair? You look like a frog.
I love Gray Matter's design though. I think he's very cute. And like
he is not.
Seeing a girl version of him, this is very much gendered. Like in UAF, they don't have the hair.
Yeah.
Like the girl versions, they don't have the hair. They don't have, or UAF or Omniverse for that matter. They don't have hair. They don't have like, more feminine features. Like I guess I would say her eyes are bigger than Ben's.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe.
I think you're just supposed to look at the hair and go, "Yep, that's a girl." Gray
That's
matter.
girl. Let's see. Voices. We got. Let's do forums first. See, and we were kind of talking about like she has. I think it might have been like whenever she's like gearing up to throw the bowling balls.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't show that her second set of arms has sleeves.
Just a drawing thing.
But I don't know. She's kind of a muscle mommy. You know what I mean? Would you use that word?
No.
I'm not a groomer. I'm just a loser.
Let's get this ukulele back out.
There we go. But she's also got the bob. I think that's funny.
Yeah.
Which is your favorite design in the episode?
I really like the Diamond Head one.
Diamond Head.
But I'm a big Diamond Head fan to begin.
I kind of like Heat Blast. I think it was subtle enough to be a girl, but it's not like overly advert, you know?
Overtly feminine.
There you go. Diamond Head, voiced by Vanessa Marshall, and also she voiced Forums as well. Gray Griffin, I thought it was Gray Delisle. Gray Griffin, she sounded like the Daphne from Scooby-Doo voice actress.
So kind of like Vicky.
Yeah, I think it's the same voice. Also Azula.
Yeah.
Carrie Walgren, Gray Matter. Yeah, I don't know anything else, but they did good jobs.
Yeah.
And they only did like little bit parts. But I like that commitment because I even listened to Diamond Head and Forums and I'm like, that just sounds like...
They could have easily just used Gwen's voice for all of these.
Right, they could have because like with Kevin, when he turns into aliens, mainly it's just his voice.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it ever turns into... Which makes sense because it is Kevin, and he's just adapting the DNA, whereas like Gwen, much like Ben...
turning into an alien.
Right, turning into different aliens.
But yeah, it's a nice attention to detail that they did.
And it's cool that like I love that that's something that they, because in later series you're used to like the same 3 or 4 people voicing like all the aliens.
Yeah.
And it's just a budget thing, I think, because when you get like 1,000 aliens, you can't have this like high profile voice. You can't have Steve Blum for every character.
Yeah,
like
facts.
in this. Anyway, but yeah, I like the designs. I would have liked to see, like in our comment question we said earlier, I would have liked to see her as Wild Mutt, see if there's any differences. Probably not, because there's not too much differences between
You're
Earth
the wild
dogs.
animal.
Yeah. Gray Matter would have probably looked...
I think Accelerate would have been one I would like to see.
yeah, that's probably more feminine for sure.
Yeah.
Ghost Freak. I wonder what that looked like.
I'm scared.
I wonder what that looks like. It probably looks the same.
Maybe, because you're just a ghost.
Well,
it wasn't like you saw Ben's ghost and said, that's a male Ghost Freak.
That brings up a lot of extra questions, too, about Ghost Freak and his DNA.
Yeah.
Ghost Freak, I think, canonically is a guy.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're ungendered. I don't know.
That's weird. I guess it's too hard.
The guy's voice, but I don't
whatever.
know. So I wonder if that would have like changed how he acted and looks if he like merged with Gwen's DNA.
I think they hit enough of the aliens for us to get an idea of what the variety would look like.
Ripjaws probably looks just like a fish.
Yeah, like
I think we got the right ones.
We would have liked to see more, but we didn't need to get the gist of it. And I like the details they did with the ones they gave us.
Yeah.
All in all, pretty awesome episode. Pretty fun.
Do you think Upgrade would have just had like a head of hair?
No, I think Upgrade would have just been Upgrade again.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think that's about it. Cannonbolt.
Cannonbolt would have been cool to see,
but I'm not sure.
Yeah. Maybe it's a different colored back.
Yeah, maybe. There's some forearms that are blue, like in UAF.
Yeah.
One of the like bad guys is a blue forearms.
Oh, that's cool. I like blue. I'm a big blue fan.
You are a big blue fan.
I like blue.
Is that your favorite color?
Oh, for sure. No contest.
We also got some housekeeping things. We're going to be doing a bit more YouTube stuff.
Yeah.
So if you aren't subscribed to our YouTube channel, go subscribe to YouTube. If you want us to cover something, we're going to do a couple topical things just because we want to do more with YouTube. But yeah, let us know kind of like I think a couple things have already come out by the time this episode comes out. So let us know if you like what we're doing with the YouTube stuff. Let us know if you want to see other stuff.
But we're an open book. Tell us what to watch. We'll watch it.
Give us some suggestions or whatever. We appreciate you guys watching. And if you got to this point in the episode, you might as well like the video.
Like it. Make sure you're subscribed.
Yeah, go subscribe to the YouTube. If you like just the podcast stuff, we'll always just keep that on Spotify and all the other platforms, Apple Music, whatever, Apple Podcasts.
But if you're listening to us there, you might as well come see us on YouTube. Why not?
Yeah, we got video. If you're unaware of the YouTube stuff, we got video. So
it's
fun.
But yeah, we'll see you guys on the next episode.